Somewhere a place, a time, someday a time for
Dog. Yes, so Hairless here. We did a Patreon poll of which Voctave reaction to do next. There were 4 choices. This was the winner by a landslide. It got about 63% of the votes. All of you Voctave fans out there in the Sir Hairless community, you clearly love Somewhere from West Side Story. I've seen Voctave just once before, and that was their Disney Love medley featuring Kirsty from Pentatonics. This song, Somewhere from West Side Story, it's a beautiful song. I really like it, and a beautiful film too. And I also liked the remake that came out a few years ago as well. In the video description here, Voctave have put, Jamie Ray, our arranger and tenor, watched West Side Story 2021 while we were on tour. As he was listening to this song, sung by the incredible Rita Moreno, he realised there were 11 phrases in the song, and we have 11 members in our group. What are the chances? So let's see how Voctave put their 11 members to use with these 11 phrases.
There's a place for us, somewhere a place for us. Peace and quiet and open air wait for us somewhere. There's a time for us, someday a time for us.
Time together with time to spare, time to learn, time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living.
We'll find a way of forgiving. Somewhere, somewhere,
There's a
Oh, that's really nice. 269,000 views. Up that view count from that first minute and a half. Oh, it's just nice music. It deserves more views. There's a lot going on, as you can imagine. Nothing too crazy though, but still some things I'd like to touch upon. So we'll do our first pause here. If you don't want to hear my analysis, go to the timestamp. As always, let's start with the key. It's in the same key as the original song, but in the original, this is how it opens. A male opening. Voctave don't choose to do this. They go with a female opening.
there's a place for us.
This is Sir Hairless whilst editing. I didn't mention this in the video. The version from 2021 with Rita Moreno singing does also start with a woman, but it's not a voice by itself.
There's a place for us.
It works really well having a higher set voice in amongst this full chord. Nothing too crazy from a harmonic perspective. There are some nice notes in there, but overall it's a nice, simple opening. The original song opens with a call and response between the melody, the voice, and then the cello. So those two notes, they'll now come in the cello. But then on the third note, the cello changes. And we get higher strings coming in, and that kind of affirms the harmony now. Voctave choose to affirm the harmony just immediately with this first chord.
A place for us.
Very full sound, quite different to the fragmented sound of the original. Voctave do, however, have the first two notes just sung as one voice, no accompaniment, just as we see in the original song. It's a very iconic opening. This is a minor seventh, not quite a full octave, which is much more of a complete sound. Leonard Bernstein, what a composer. We get the first homophony on lyrics, so where everyone sings the same words at the same time as each other, on here somewhere, the title of the song, arguably the most important word of the whole song.
Wait for us somewhere.
And it comes just after the first sense of something a bit non-standard harmonically. I'll play it back, but just listen out for the bass line, which is the driving force here. That chromatic inflection, instead of what we might expect to hear.
And open air, wait for us somewhere.
Then we get another female solo. I really like that actually. Very nice voice, very light, airy, a soft sound.
There's a time for us.
The backing harmony has moved up, like there's a layer that's been added on top now. That sustained note there, which we have, which causes a suspension with a lower part. I'll play it up the octave so it's closer to this note, which goes.
Someday, a time.
There, on some day, on the day, we get a real scrunch chord. Let's listen to that again.
Someday.
So the core harmony here is this chord, and we get suspension here. But hidden in there is this cheeky note, this one. Notice the sustained note that I pointed out earlier is now doubled down the octave. So this new note, that causes a real clash.
Someday, a time for us.
Time together with.
This handover now to the next male soloist. There's basically no silence here, even though there is a kind of break, if we can call it that. The reason I mention this is because later on, we do get an obvious silence, which stands out because we don't really get it otherwise.
Somewhere we'll find.
And the flowing parts we hear just before we move to that tenor solo create this really, I don't know, like a floaty effect. I feel like I'm floating on air, on a cloud, or on water or something. It's so relaxing and calm.
Somewhere we'll.
And then this big breath. You can't have many of those big breaths in an arrangement like this. So it has been very carefully chosen by Jamie, the arranger. So to go back to where we were, I just mentioned this because it shows how meticulous Voctave are. They all come off the millisecond before the male soloist takes over.
A time for us.
Time together.
So it really feels like there isn't any gap in the sound. Back to the big breath I just spoke about with the tenor solo. I really like this bit actually because the harmony changes. Let's listen out for the bass part, which goes.
We'll find a new way of living.
What that means is we've finished now in F minor. But the original at this point finishes in a major chord that's completely different.
And a new way of living.
So this F, which is the low note that the bass was singing, instead of it being the third note of the chord in the original, Voctave are utilising it as the root note. Here, the F. Also that bass line, that descends a minor seventh, which is the same interval as the opening of the song in reverse. It's a really nice arrangement so far. Let's carry on.
There's a place for us somewhere, a place for us.
Peace and quiet and open air. Wait for us somewhere.
There's a time for us. Someday, a time for us.
Time together with time to spare. Time to learn and a time to care.
Someday,
pause time, recompose time. I've kind of lost control of my body here. I know I don't usually move that much, maybe compared to other reactors who like fly out of their seats and hit the ceiling and stuff, but I'm being bound by this music, completely motionless. When I'm editing, I'll have a look to see if I actually moved at all. Maybe I can just put a screenshot of me in the seat and it won't look any different. Alright, where we carried on. I remember at that point we have the new male soloist come in and I was thinking, this is so nice. You don't need any funky harmonies or anything crazy. You just need a nice, simple, rich harmony.
A place for us, somewhere a place.
But this arrangement is cheeky. On Somewhere, just there, we do get some filthy notes in there. Good filth. Momentarily causing a bit of grit and tension. But then, immediately, back to this peaceful soundscape.
Place for us.
Peace and
Then this big growth moment.
wait for us somewhere.
There again, some grit coming in just temporarily. I mean, sorry, grit is probably not the right word to use. Let's just stick with good filth. It's really a remarkable arrangement, I think. Obviously, mixing has been done to adjust the sound levels. For example, we've got the powerful, powerful soprano. You can hear the power, but it's been brought right down in terms of volume. The effect it creates, though, it's amazing. It's like this mass of sound, but not overbearing at all. The melody is still very clear. And the basses again with this descending line. So this time it's... which is over an octave. But if we reverse these notes, so if we move this one down and then the bottom one up, it's that minor seventh we got at the beginning again. Speaking of audio levels with a group like this is a quick diversion, by the way. Yesterday I released a video that's only for egg members and above on my Patreon. That's one of the tiers. It's a behind the scenes video on a concert that I recently went to. That was the King Singers and Voctave 8. If you like Voctave, you probably know these groups, at least one of them. I briefly mentioned Voctave in that video actually. I show some behind the scenes footage and then some clips from the concert, and then I take a bit of a deep dive into the music and discuss the music a little bit, very casually compared to these reaction videos. It's an unlisted video, which means you can't find it by searching my channel, but if you have the link, you can access it. I will leave the link to that video at the bottom of this video's description, just as a little thank you if you are watching this right now. I've only done Voctave once before. I'm sure based on this that I will do them many more times. But yeah, that behind the scenes video from yesterday is probably right up your street if you're a fan of Voctave. So find that link below, click it, open it, and have it ready to watch after this video. And who knows, if you enjoy it, maybe you'll consider joining my Patreon for other behind the scenes videos and stuff like that. Alright, so back to Voctave. We now get our first run in this style. Personally, that's not really my cup of tea. I don't think it works that well in this arrangement, especially as we only get one of them. But I do certainly recognise the skill required to do that. Maybe it is this singer's particular style. Do let me know in the comments if that's the case. Okay, and then we get... EJ Cardona's Time. He keeps repeating the word time. I thought that would be a bit punny. This is EJ. We have seen him before. He sung with voice play and of course in my previous Voctave video. Wow, just wow. No words needed. And wow again to that. That's basically full chest voice. When it comes to these technicalities of voice types, chest, head, blended. For these types of videos, I prefer to keep things fairly simple. I'm not going to be someone saying how falsetto and head voice are different. So yeah, this powerful sound, this is basically full chest voice. The key word there being basically. And then the end of this section, which is where we got to, so we'll carry on. But wow again.
There's a place for us, a time.
What a sound! Oh jeez. Really, really powerful performance that, isn't it? Phenomenal arrangement, phenomenal. Has chosen a style and just nailed it perfectly. A couple of things in there, I'm not sure how well they fit, but overall that really was, yeah, incredible. Okay, let's just go over a few final points. So this bit I'm about to play, we're going to be looking out for the cha-cha-cha, the idea of 3 that I've often spoken about in my previous videos. The line there in the backing vocals, hold my hand and we're hold my hand, this kind of half sentence that's cut short that we so often see in a cappella. So they really help to emphasize this idea, and also there is a suspension underneath just to up the oomphness of the sound. The bass part again is great. Here we get it dropping down and then rising back up. Going into this ritardando, this slowing down, which just takes us into a huge sound. So big. And then in the next part, there was this one note that really stood out for me. Listen up for that, because I'm thinking, okay, we're going to have a suspension. Then the soprano part comes in. I'm thinking, what's going on here? So now I'm thinking, key change, very clever. Then EJ comes in. Okay, great, we're gonna have, and then the chord will be, but no, again. So now I'm well and truly bamboozled, no idea what's coming. Let's just play until the end because no words that I can say will suffice. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Let's leave that one there. Comment down below other performances by Voctave you'd like me to do a video on. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Would appreciate a like and subscribe. If you enjoy my content, want to get access to exclusive perks such as the behind the scenes videos, click the link on the screen now to head over to my Patreon. And I will see you next time.